The YouTube feed has just started. We're doing our super duper extra fun sound check today. Now, listen, don't tell anyone. This is just between you and me, okay? I may have been up all night drinking. Let's put these on. I may have been up all night drinking, alright? So just don't tell the other Vegan Stephen fans, because they think they kind of, I don't want to make it weird, but the Vegan Stephen lads, they kind of look up to me. They kind of, I don't know why. I didn't ask for this burden of, I didn't ask to be the #1 Vegan Stephen podcast. I didn't ask to be gifted with the power of €200 hats and fighting celebrities like the Pope. Alright, we're just checking we're going live everywhere, and then we're going to go straight into the show. No beating around the bush. Am I? Is this live? How do you guys feel about the kind of subtle body language people do? We're live, grand. Instagram's live. We're just waiting for Instagram to get out of bed. How are you getting on Instagram? And we're getting ready to have the cup of coffee there, and I'm going to have a slurp, and then we're going into full whack, hell for leather, can't stop, bants for the morning espresso, okay? So we're doing one final check. Instagram is live, sound is working, and the other things look like they're working as well. And sure, we'll just go for it. We'll see what happens. Excuse me, please. Okay, this is real. This is not a drill. This is a parody of a podcast. This is me being a fictional character. Now, listen. Can I share another secret with you, and just don't tell the other Vegan Stephen listeners. Just between me and you, alright? I didn't want to tell the other Vegan Stephen listeners, but you're my favourite Vegan Stephen listener. I didn't want to tell the other one. I mean, you know, just don't tell the other ones, because they'll get jealous. You know what vegans are like. They'll get jealous. They be getting notions in their heads, these vegans, and all sorts of crack. So listen, I wrote a song when I was very angry. And it's about not getting paid. So cash, money, dollar bills, baby. Because when you're learning about money, you don't really understand that money is energy. But you kind of know, but no one tells you. I don't know. It's kind of assumed, but no one really knows. So money is energy. So when you do, when someone asks you to, you know, like cut their grass or whatever, they're asking you for energy. So you give your energy to cut the grass, and then they give you energy in return, whether that's in the form of an apple tart, a lot of cash, or if they want to try out being a sex worker with you. Some of these people who like their grass cut might also be into having intercourse. Alright, so listen, this song is about not getting paid. A lot of people I grew up with, you know, they did the apprentice. There was no money, the recession happened, everyone started losing their gaffs. And fucking hell, does anyone else remember this? Am I the only one who remembers the recession? Was that a bad dream? Oh gee, I hope the recession was just a bad dream. I hear it's coming back. Everyone talks about the recession like, oh fuck, the recession's coming back, oh jeez. I was watching, I was kind of sick of being poor and broke and shit, so I decided to research how to, you know, sell myself on the game. Right, it's so hard to fucking be serious. Okay, here we go. So I was Vegan Stephen podcast. So yeah, it's a song about being really pissed off. You know, sometimes you get paid in either thanks or you get paid in a pint of beer or whatever it is. I don't know, and I did a lot of work because I wanted to know how to be really good at working. Because I figured, like, if you just have really fucking good work ethic and a very clear agenda goal, you can get the shit done. Alright, so this is the Vegan Stephen Morning Espresso. ethical revolution. There is no ethical revolution. We don't work for free. We don't work for free. We don't work free. 'Cause if you're good at your job, they'll let you work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. If you're good at your job, don't work for free. 'Cause if you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. If you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. Pay. We don't work for free. Pay. We don't work for free. It's been going on for ages. Paying compliments in wages. How am I to build a home? I'm supposed to stay here all alone. There's no constitution. We don't work for free. If you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. If you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. If you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. If you're good at your job, then don't work for free. 'Cause they'll keep you down. They'll keep your money. Pay. We don't work for free. Pay. We don't work for free. We don't work for free. That was another award-winning performance by the king of consistency, Vegan Stephen. I want to dedicate that one to I did a gig last night, very top secret exclusive gig. The Kevin Fowley, that is Kevin Fowley. He's not only is he bi-curious, he also likes playing biannual gigs, which means you play a gig twice a year. But basically he's one of the shit hottest folk people you're ever going to come across. So listen up, ladies and gentlemen. You can either listen to Kevin Fowley now, and tell all your friends about it, or else you can be a fucking idiot and wait 6 months for your friends to tell you how good he is. So it's up to you. He'll be on the show anyway, so Vegan Stephen just brings the number one best to you guys, so he will be on the show and he will be performing a song. So he did an award-winning legendary performance last night. He had big fucking vinyls, big feckin' jobs, big selling vinyl all over the place. Couldn't keep them in stock. People were like, can I have 7 vinyls? He was like, here's 7, and so on. Anyway, I was doing the sound for the gig there last night because I'm also in the top 300 sound engineers in Ireland. So that's an achievement, to be in the top 300 random sound engineers in Ireland. There you are. So I was doing an old job for a bit of cash last night. And where am I going with this story? Who knows? It's just a journey, man. It's just a journey. Oh, jeepers. Keep up the work ethic. Oh, thanks very much. Schoolyard Champions. Thanks very much, Schoolyard Champions. I appreciate the support. Jeez, that's very nice. Last night I was on the show was absolutely like I couldn't. Okay, here's the thing. It was kind of like an album release party kind of vibe last night, right? And all this allegedly happened and so on for the sake of legal reasons. I don't know. As I said, I was up all night drinking. I only came home. Myself and Kevin Fowley came home last night, and what a man! He has a presence to him, you know. But I was out all night drinking anyway, and I haven't been drinking in at least a month. I haven't been out drinking properly since I started the podcast. Because on the podcast, Vegan Stephen is the king of consistency, as everybody knows. So I do an hour improvised podcast every day, and on top of that I try to do the odd guitar lesson here and there, and business lesson and so on. So it's not very often I let Vegan Stephen lets his hair down, you know, because I have to be. I'm a racehorse. I have to be on top of my game 100% of the time, all the time. So I was chatting to these. I was up all night chatting to these, just going up to random people because it was like an album release party. You know what I mean? So it's just like anything goes. There was free drink. There was free. There was old men selling themselves on street corners. Some old men tried to touch me, and so on. And yeah, it's fucking great. But how do I? Okay, so there was the album release party, and that was great. That was legendary by itself. I had your man Cahill or whatever it was playing singing on the violin he was, and Ross Francis Cheney on the bang bangs, who's actually had to leave for tour because see, this is what happens when you're Vegan Stephen. You only work with the fucking shit hottest lads. So fucking Ross Cheney allegedly has to fly off to Donegal or somewhere to play a gig for Other Voices with Roisin, or I don't know. Sure, whenever Dr. Ross comes on the podcast, he'll tell you all about it and he'll give you all the latest tips. And we might even, who knows, we're still fundraising because Ross, oh jeez, allegedly Ross Cheney charges a lot of money to do a drum gig. So as soon as I get together the money, we will try and book this Ross lad. He's just very expensive, you know. But yeah, he's on Other Voices, possibly tonight or something, or maybe the next night. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. It's some music show in Ireland called Other Voices. But yeah, moving on away from that, just to distance my bold antics from the good honourable Kev and all that. I made a few people laugh last night. It was pretty good, and some of them didn't even speak English. So I I know. I think that's very impressive. If you make people laugh, you don't even speak your same language consistently. I think that's fair, because you need a wide palette of comedy. Because you need, if people don't speak the same language as you, you got to do a lot more kind of gestural, physical comedy, and use very basic. You can only use like 4 words maybe, because maybe, for example, I only had the word gracias. And for some reason I was so drunk, I thought the people were from were speaking Portuguese, so I kept trying to speak Portuguese to them, and they kept being like, no, we're from Colombia, why we don't speak Portuguese. So it was an absolute it was a shit show, but it was absolute great crack, because since Vegan Stephen got his presenter voice, oh my god, I was chatting up to, alright, I can't even say what about that in here. X-rated stories, man. X-rated stories. Toy show last night. I got to meet a famous author last night as well. That was good crack. I think she was a little bit offended that I didn't know who she was. And so she kind of, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know who she was. She was like, I'm this person. I was like, never heard of you. And then people were like, that's that. What she wrote the books. And I was like, oh Jesus. So I went up again and said, quick respect, and then gave a compliment, fucked off. And then later on she was like, she gave me the nod, so I knew everything was okay. And Ireland's all about the nod. There's like this kind of secret unspoken nod among everyone in the world, really. But I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, it's in every culture, isn't it? So it's more of a human thing, but there's just a nod every I don't know, it's all about the nod. He knows and you know. It's like both communicating, you are thinking on the same wavelength. The nod. Oh, I missed the toy show last night with Gaber. How was the toy show last night? My name is Vegan Stephen. Oh, I'm the man, you can't believe it. I'm just playing kind of blues here, so it's just 3 chords. I know I'm getting off track here, and I'll stick on topic. But this is how easy music is. It's just 3 chords, and these 3 chords I teach in my music course. E, D, A, E. Hey, I was watching a Tommy Tiernan interview last night, and he was talking about how old men love to touch him. Oh, Tommy Tiernan, yeah. Oh, his name is Tommy Tiernan. Man, there's gonna be so many confused people this morning. People are getting so annoyed at me because they're like I just kept going up to oh my god, one of the highlights, I was just going up to random people and talking to them for like fucking hours, and they were, you know, if someone doesn't like you and you just go up to some drunk, they tell you pretty quick that to fuck off. Like in Ireland, they just gotta listen to them fucking off. But I don't know. The point I'm trying to get to is I was having, because I don't drink very often, you know. It's kind of like a big kind of celebration and stuff. I don't know, especially yeah, whatever. Just because I find alcohol fucks with my consistency, because there's like a downer the next day. So I'm not into any kind of performance enhancing drugs that have such a dramatic downside on, because a lot of life is about your head game, alright? Mindset. 90% of life. This podcast, 90% head game. And once you let your head go to fuck, everything else goes to fuck. So, what's the problem with alcohol is that alcohol's amazing though, isn't it? It's very good. It's very good. I like it a lot. It's very good. But the whole thing is moderation, isn't it? Like, I was talking to the Colombians last night in the smoking area, and they were like, oh, cocaine, oh yeah, whatever, chatting about all the things. I was swapping hats with some of the Colombian girls, and they were letting me wear my hat and all the rest, and I was telling them that now you have knit in your hair and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just a good night, man. It's a good night. It was a good night. But Tommy Tiernan talks about this in his interview on RT, the one that I keep referencing. I'm actually planning on. I know everyone says like, oh, it's a new year, new me, man. New year, new me. But I would like to watch this interview. I even commented on. I think it's on Joe.e or one of them things. I don't think it really matters what the interview is called. Sorry. In other side news, that TV show Mandalorian is on episode 4 or something. So yeah, the thing is, it was Joe.e, and I don't know who the presenter is, but I must say the presenter is he does use a shit microphone. I was nearly going to turn on. That's the thing when you're a snob about something like cars. Can you trust this lad because he's not driving a cool car? I don't know. I'm a microphone snob because I'm kind of like, if there's one thing I'm very, 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 very good at, it's like music and like and do it like sound and do it using your ears really. Only because I've spent my entire life studying the best of the best, you know. So I don't know. That's my area of expertise. Like, I wouldn't feel so passionate about cutting grass or something because I don't know anything about cutting grass. But I've been in the game for a minute or two. Oh my god. So what I was trying to say was, I made friends with too many people last night. So I think a lot of hungover people will be looking at their phone, being like, they're getting the notification that Vegan Steven's gone live, and they're like, oh my god. Do you know that annoying lad who was talking to us in the bar last night? He's on my fucking phone now. He won't fuck off. I just went up to everyone and was like, hey, I'm Vegan Steven, supporting positive mental health. I got the sales pitch, everyone, and then made them fucking laugh as much as they could, like. I overdid it though. There's a slippery slope between happy drunk and sad drunk, and a lot of drinking is about pacing yourself. Because I'm an Irish man. I know how to drink. I'm very bad at drinking, but I know how. If you wanna have an epic night, you gotta have about a good few. You gotta have a load of beer anyway, and the trick to like partying all night long is drinking little amounts consistently, like always supping on a beer kind of thing, but never downing, because it's very easy when you first start drinking alcohol. It's very easy to overdo it because you don't really know. You know, there's the happy place, right? So you're there and you're sober and you're just like, oh, I just want to stay home. Oh, jeez, fuck. Well, 90% of all this crack in life is just your mindset anyway. But I'm just going into how the substance affects me anyway. It's a very tribal thing, drinking. Like, it really brings everyone. Everyone's just like, oh, let's get going. No, we're dancing now. It's absolutely crazy. I was dancing with loads of confidence last night, and a load of women were fucking grinding on me, and I know, it's just so weird. The power of confidence is absolutely crazy. Like, I didn't know. I thought you had to go around chasing women to get women to like you and stuff, but in fact, you just got to well, I was fighting about this in the smoking area. We were talking about mental health and stuff in the smoking area, and they were saying, like, I don't know, people just love confident people. I don't know what it is. Just when I act real confident, people just fucking, loads of people just start appearing all around me, and they're like, Jesus, lad's hilarious. And I'm just like, oh, how you getting on or whatever. I don't know. It's just mad, like. You just put out real positive energy, and then just people start appearing with, and then pumping you full of positive energy. And then, like, those people were saying, like, what drugs are you fucking on, man? How are you this fucking pump for life, like? And, where is this now? The thing is once you start living your, what's that thing called? Once you start living your purpose and doing, like, not what you... I've talked about all this to death for the first... We might even be 40 hours into this podcasting thing, because it's nearly been a month now. I've been putting out between 1 and 2 episodes a day, so... Anyway. One of the founding reasons why this podcast has begun was to deal with my social anxiety. And what is social anxiety? It's when you're absolutely terrified of having, like, an interaction with someone else on any level. Well, that's what it is for me. Terrified of going to the shop, whatever shop it is. Terrified of, like, what if someone says hello to me on the street? How do I deal with that? Like, what do I say? I don't understand. And the absolute fear, social anxiety, fuck, sucks. It's shite. But it's absolutely mad how, like, I know this might seem as me just, like, going, I am class and stuff, but what I documented my journey. Like, you saw how nervous I was in the first feckin' podcast, and now I'm on episode, I don't know, 30 or whatever I'm on, and I'm able to just fucking lean back and just fucking have the chats, just like it's one person, when really this thing is, like, live on the internet. If I say one wrong thing, my life's ruined, like, do you know what I mean? If I slag off the wrong person, bad shit's gonna happen, and all endless possibilities. So I could get one bad compliment off, like, an old school teacher or something. I don't know. Just it's a very scary position to put yourself in, live on the internet. But all I'm demonstrating is my balls, my theoretical penis size, and yeah. I was going to go into a feminist rant there, but I think the ladies know I love them. As long as they swallow. Oh, you can't say that on the show. Oh, but I was quoting somebody else. It was a question mark. Oh, it was a question. Oh, you should save that talk for after dark. It's the Vegan Single Podcast. So I was on to a very smart, intelligent man whose name I will not mention, and he may or may not be a regular listener of the podcast, and he suggested, he, she, or entity, he wants to hear something very bold that you're not allowed to talk about. I'm just going to say it, right, because someone told me this, and I'm pretty sure if this was written in the front page of The Sun or something, there would be outrage. Like, this is a media shit show waiting to happen, and it's happening all over the place. But I just thought, like, it's absolutely fine, people are doing their best, but people are just looking to be fucking pissed off, and people, I find generally in life that people have a real shit life because they're copying what their parents did, and oh, this is getting way. Okay, read Rich Dad Poor Dad if you want to get into that. We're gonna scrap. We're gonna stay on point. Vegan Stephen nearly went for a rant there. Oh man, I had a great time chatting up other women last night. Like, I was flirting with some woman, and she was 40, and she was like, I have a son who's older than you. And I was like, Jesus Christ, we having a baby when you're 8 years old? Like, what have you been up to? And she was so, like, not up for the crack. I made her laugh constantly, and she kept being like, oh, you're too young, I have to go, you're too young, I have to go. Woman, I'm just fucking talking to you, like, chill the fuck out. We're in a public area, we're in, like, on a public street. Sure, we were hammered. Sure, I just met her and went up to her mates randomly and just started talking to them. But the point is that I'm just ranting. Yeah, it's very like vegan Stephen keeps the head down, because a lot of the most famous people in the world, even look at Eminem, it's just sleeping in your office. Sleeping in your office for the first 10 years of your career. And what does that mean? That means you outwork fucking everyone, because you have to work late and get up early to work. If you're not working about it, you're thinking about it, and so on. So Jeff Bezos did it. What's that Microsoft lad called? Bill Gates. He likes sleeping in his office. What's that lad called who likes that evil millionaire? He's great crack. He likes Bitcoin. Loves having people poo in his mouth, allegedly. He likes getting women to go in hammocks and poo in his mouth, and his name is... It's an antivirus security software that he sold the rights to. Zenofi. Alright, I'm sure you all know that billionaire who owns antivirus software, has documentaries made about him. Sure, who fucking knows? Moving on. It's an action-packed show, ladies and gentlemen. Action-packed to the reactions. So, some things I'm going to talk about, some things I'm going to not talk about, some things I'm just going to touch on. So if you hear me talk about something, for example, I had a podcast planned yesterday, which I was just like, fuck it, wasn't feeling it, and we just did a podcast on, an in-flight podcast on the Late Late Toy Show. So just going for the vibes, because if something isn't working, you gotta try. I believe that you gotta try it every option, and because you've no idea which one will work, or even work the best rather. Because there's a lot of merit for doing tried and tested methods, but if you want to outdo everyone else, you gotta try. Like literally, you saw like how I did it with my thing. I wasn't getting in, and I wasn't getting paid for music. No one would pay me for music. Now people are dying to buy my hats. People are dying for me to play gigs. People are dying to buy my music and all this so on, because I'm playing the game, this mysterious music game of celebrity and so on. I know that might not be making a lot of sense, but you can check it all out in my other videos. I talk about it a lot. I have all the news tabs open here, so that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe I might read out some news. So just to summarise some of my rants there, some of my epic talking. I didn't watch the toy show last night because I was working at a gig. I remember now. So I was chatting up these who were they from? Where are they from? They had all these web developers. So it's just they were working on it out, and they had like a work business card and shit. So I sneakily popped a few drinks on their work business card. Shh! Don't tell their boss. Anyway, what's the crack of meeting random people on night out? They're so just do you want a few beers? Do you want a few stuff in this bag? Do you want to? I also heard the gossip that dogs' trust cannot be trusted. Dun dun dun. Well, the charity business model is a business model for a reason. I'm starting my own charity, and here's the name of my own charity. First of all, a large percentage, I think it's 10% of all the Vegan Stephen profits go to a pool of charities, which have been which will be decided and open for debate among the Vegan Stephen listeners. So if you buy a Vegan Stephen guitar, hat, €200, whatever, 10% of that money goes to charity. And what charity? A pool of charities decided by the Vegan Stephen listeners. And how does that work? There'll be we'll accept nominations or whatever, and then we'll do a rough vote of, I don't know, the top 30, and then whoever wins the top 5 will be the charities that we'll focus on for that year or month or whatever. There will be slight tweaks made to it. So I'm probably not going to do the following for another few years, but I was planning on starting up my own charity, and then starting up my own charity, and then okay, pause that story. That's getting boring. So I was outside. I was getting free drink off these web developers and all this stuff, and I was like, check this out. This will be hilarious. So I started standing by the door. Drunk people were coming in. I was going, sorry, have you got ID? In Ireland, you have to be like, I don't know, over 18 to drink. And I was asking these out lads like for ID, and they're like, I'm fucking 40. And there's these hammered girls going through their purse, like, oh, I can't find it, we won't get in. And I was just some random lad. I was there with a pint of Guinness, and I was just like, sorry, if you don't have ID, you can't come in. And I may have had a smoke of some description in my mouth, and man, it's great crack just making friends with everyone. So I was like, listen, I can't let you in tonight if you don't have ID. There's nothing I can do for you. And then I was like, only messing. They went in. Everyone in the smoking area was laughing in hysterics. They're like, this vegan Stephen lad just showed up, pretended he was the security guard, and started telling people he couldn't come into the venue. I just pretended I was the security. There was no security guard. Oh, it was absolutely comical. And then what happened was, I think this wasn't as funny because not as many people saw it, but the people started coming out then, because I don't know why they wanted to leave or whatever, and I was like, ID, sorry, you can't leave the pub unless you have ID. And they were like, what? I was like, listen, basic health and safety, okay? You cannot leave the venue unless you are over 18, and I would be a fool if I didn't ask you. Legally, I'm required to ask you for ID. I don't make up the rules, okay? I just think them up and write them down. And they were like, what the fuck is this lad on about? And it was very hilarious because it was an absolute group of them, and they were like, what? We can do whatever we want. You can't tell us what to do. It was absolutely comical. But yeah, that was great crack. But yeah. We were chatting to some of these big wigs, you know, the big social media influencers and all that shit last night. There's a lot of them. You know, the kind of people hang around with these big fucking director stuff or whatever. Anyway, they were just going on about the power of Instagram and so on. And how one post, if someone referenced her in a post, how her followers will go up like whoop, up by like 1,000 in like overnight. And the power that these influencers or whatever, such as Vegan Stephen, have. Is Vegan Stephen Irish rock and roll royalty? I think he's gonna be, even if he isn't just yet. Yeah. Pablo Escobar, anyway. I was talking to these Colombian people, and we were chatting away about drugs and all the rest of it. And as you can imagine, I couldn't speak their language and they could barely understand me. So it was mostly just like, we're all friends. Whoa. But in my mind, we were having highly intellectual conversations. And I kept feeling like there was like other people in the smoking area. Like, come on over here, man. We're having the parties over here, man. Parties over here. And in fairness, like anyone who came over to us was literally just having the absolute best time. Because mostly it was just drunk people going like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, jeez, I'm really hammered, and I don't know what to do. I'm so locked. And then I was like, oh, come on over here, we'll have a bit of crack. Whoa. Sing some rebel songs. Come out, you black towns, come and fight me like a lad. And there'd be fucking English lads singing. We're just like, get out, you black and towns, woo! Even though they're English, like, you bastard, woo! Because we don't give a fuck, like. But your boy Pablo Escobar, anyway, apparently he's this big cocaine dealer or whatever, and the reason why he stayed alive and all the rest of it, and was so good with money, is because he rarely took cocaine. He was a big pot smoker, so he stayed paranoid, because paranoia keeps you on your toes. Yeah, I don't know, I just think that's mad. Oh man, leaky roof. Can't get the help these days. But yeah, how good is drinking? It's good crack, because every time I'm in bed drinking, I'm like, no, it'll be a hangover. With this alcohol crack, I'll be out of business for the next day. But it's all about mindset. Like, yes, it can drag you into a crippling depression and so on. I don't know. If you pace your alcohol, at least you don't get sick. Yeah, I don't know, man. it's just like when you're drinking alcohol in Ireland, it's just like you're a big fucking, you're part of a fucking party, like it's the fucking, we don't care if it's fucking a Monday night. We're getting fucked up on beer and we're gonna fucking sing some songs and just fucking have a good time. We don't care if we're fucking in someone's living room. We're Irish. We don't give a fuck if we're on a bus. We'll still fucking, we'll have the cans there, we'll have the crack, no water. And you know what? If it's if we're not off having the crack and having pints, we're bitching about people in work, just generally having the lols. My favourite thing about, the main reason why I think I would find it hard to, Tommy Tiernan talks about this as well. He finds the English audience quite sterile, and the Canadian audience a bit hard. He likes American audiences and Irish audiences, and he was going into the different audiences. He was rating like his favourite, most enjoyable places to play, if you know what I mean. But I just find you can have a really hilarious conversation with any old Irish woman, whereas because it's just Irish people just know how to have a bit of a crack or something. When I make fun of people who aren't Irish, they never seem to. They pretend. You just have to really simplify all the humour, and it's such a chore being that simplifying. I don't know. It just feels like home. Talking to an Irish person, even if it's a 90-year-old woman, it just feels like home. You can just be like, oh. More rain, shocking, and they're like, oh jeez, shocking weather. Oh, yeah. I have the absolute joy of getting one of my former teachers from secondary school on the podcast. She has a good few masters under her belt, and like, I think she's studying for like another doctor or something. You know these kind of people who are just like too smart for their own good. You know those kind of people are just annoyingly smart. They just have something to say about fucking everything, and you're like, for 1 second, pretend to be human, you smart person. So I was very fortunate to have this person as a role model while I was doing my leaving cert. I could see through their work ethic how anything could be achieved, and you can bend, the rules in the establishment and so on. It's actually, like, without this powerful female. Whoa. Generally my music is either improvised or from my back catalogue. But she's a very powerful woman, right? And when I say powerful, I don't mean, oh, she's strong and brave. I mean, this woman will punch you in the face and fuck you up. She's a real fucking woman. Yeah, she got me through my leaving cert, man. Fucking amazing. But she said that she liked my episode on dyslexia, which I think is my most viewed podcast to date, my dyslexia one. She said she liked that one, and that she said she might be tempted. No, she said she's coming on the podcast. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask her, just let her know. My plan for when she comes is to try and annoy her as much as possible, so that I'm going to wind her up, be like, geez, I can't think of anything that will, okay, basically I'm going to annoy her, okay, and then I'm just going to close my mouth for the rest of the episode and just let her rant absolute passion for life at you, and you'll just be like, fuck, this person is on another plane of existence, of achievement. This is the kind of, this person trains people how to be teachers and trains people how to, like, this person is moulding the Irish education system, helping mould. Jeez, I better get through that disclaimer before someone sues me. I just imagine there's like a team of lawyers. In my imagination, there's like a team of lawyers, and they're just waiting. They're just there at the keyboard, ready to hit, like, sue Vegan Stephen for 20 billion, because I'm good for 20 billion cash, man. So the name of my charity is called This Is a Corrupt Charity. Okay, so Vegan Stephen, it's gonna be called, like, Vegan Stephen was a fund or whatever. I don't know how these things, mutual fund. So But the name of the charity, do you know you have stuff like Dogs Trust and all the rest of it? My charity name is just called Corrupt Charity. That's the name of my charity. Alright? And all it does is just do the whole Vegan Stephen thing and just donate to other charities. But that's it. Because in every charity there is corruption. There's people at the top getting paid more. There's people getting paid through tax loopholes. There's people getting involved in tax breaks, giving money to charities so that they won't have to pay it back tax and all. There's a lot of mad shit that goes on with charities, and I know because I study the richest people in the world. Like, I watch all of their interviews and be like, geez, what was he saying when he said that? That's mental. Googling that. And, oh, fuck, that's mental. I can't believe that charity did that. Yeah, religions and charities are both extremely fucking dodgy when it comes to money. Anyway, that's a hot potato. So who wants to hear my... I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to read the politically correct thing. Okay, so listen. Someone very close to me was at this, you know, like a new restaurant opening. You know what it sounds like. Oh, it's a new restaurant. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, get down here, you'll love it and all the rest of it, right? They had 3 bathrooms, right? The male bathroom, the female bathroom, and like right now it's real kind of trendy to care about the environment, and it's like transgender rights and stuff's real trendy. Because these things have been going on since the existence of time, but right now they're like a peak level. I know people are going to be very offended by that, but if you actually look at culture and how it works and so on, I'm looking forward to all the very angry comments. Enjoy it. Vegan Stephen, polarising people everywhere. So here we go. So right now everyone's trying to, if you're a trendy new restaurant, you got to make sure, you know, you're eco-friendly and you're supporting like all the genders. I don't know the proper words because people keep changing their mind on what's politically correct and what's not politically correct. This now, it was like LBGT or whatever it is, and now it's gone like LBGTQ, and it has some symbols in there. I don't know, like I'd be talking to my dad about this, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, LGBT, yeah," and I'd be like, "No, Dad, it's LGBTQ or something now," and he's like, "Jesus, yeah." And then you Google it, and then it's just an absolute rake of letters. They keep changing their name. Can you imagine what a bad decision it would be for Coca-Cola to constantly change their name? No one would know who the fuck they are. They're all, okay, I understand these are all emotional decisions, but just... I don't know. I've studied how to get stuff done, and LGBT lads, you do your own thing. I'm staying out of that. Alright, I'm already in massive trouble and my lawyer is already calling my phone. I'm going to have so many text messages here. And the show might be getting cut down. So here it is, the most offensive thing you can possibly say. This is to all those people who kind of half listen to the show and they'll be like, "What? Did he say transgender? You can't say that on the radio." All transgenders are brave. I don't know. Anyway, listen, all I'm trying to say is that people are trying really hard. Okay, let's bring this back to reality. Okay, let's look at this. Let's take emotions out of it for a moment. Okay, a new business is starting up. Someone I know went to this new business. The new business model was a restaurant. Now, restaurants are about creating vibes and ambience. A lot of people think it's about the food. It's never been about the fucking food. It's about who else is there. Is it trendy to be there? Is it cool? Do your other friends... Is fucking Bill Gates there? Alright. Alright. Oh, it is about the food. Vegan. Shut up. I'm talking here. Get your own fucking podcast. So they're there, right? Starting a restaurant, and one of the very important things if you're starting a new business is to make sure your public image is absolutely very good. So you want to be given to charity. Make sure you support things like kittens, dogs, rights of people who can't defend themselves, charities, especially kind of hot issues, like say something like, "Oh, we lowered our heating bill for this for the environment because that's a new fucking trend," or whatever. So they're just they're only going to talk about the environment because that's what's trendy right now. So they want to be part of the conversation when everyone else is talking about it. This is very cynical. And I know, but I am hungover. So there you are. Now, what I'm trying to say is they were trying to apply this new trend for transgender rights and all the rest of it, right? So they were trying to say, like, right, what could we do to show how on board we are with current culture, that we are doing our bit for current culture, right? And then they were like, right, brilliant, we'll build a transgender bathroom, alright? So they're like, do you know how much that's going to cost? It's going to cost 20 grand or something. They're like, listen, this thing is very, very important. If we want to compete with the best in the world, we got to compete with the yada yada yada. So it's a very good business trendy idea. It's good for the people. It's good for progressing culture. It's good for everyone involved. All right. So here's the thing which I started laughing all over the place with. So once again, I know I've set up the premise a few times. I've gotten off track with some emotional stuff or whatever. I've made a formal apology, and I'll go through all that shit in a minute. So here's the crack, right? It's very hard for me for this to come across comedically, unless you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about, because it's such a hot fucking cookie that if I just say the wrong word, it'll be fucking in the papers and it'll be shite. Alright, so, because it's the scariest thing trying to make a joke, even with transgender near it, because you're just, oh, you can't compare glasses to Hitler. Coffee has nothing to do with Hitler. I don't know. Just whatever. Hitler can suck a dick, suck my dick, Hitler. Oh, Hitler, not so much teeth, Hitler. Oh. Alright, here we go. So here's the joke. And it's not even a joke, it's just an observation. And I'm absolutely terrified to say it, so I think that means that it's good. Because if I'm afraid to say it, you guys would definitely be afraid to say it. Okay. So I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to move the fuck on. Alright. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to say it. I might get pulled off iTunes for saying this. I might get shut down off YouTube, but here we go. I'm commenting on how Irish people are dealing with this this whole transgender thing. They're like, we don't know what no one really understands what it is. They keep changing the definition. They keep changing their mind on what they're selling. Can they not just be like Coca-Cola? Just say, listen, we're Coca-Cola. We use the colours red and white. Here's the ingredients, and that's it. We have a clear product. Instead of just going, oh, I'm not sure if we're going to be Coke or Fanta today, or 7-Up, or what I am today. People like you. You got to have some level of consistency if you want people to be invested in your idea. I'm just looking at it from a business sense, which is okay. Oh my word! I'm so terrified of what I'm about to say. Like, I'm genuinely really nervous of what I'm about to say. And this is all just social pressure, man. A lot of the reason I didn't do podcasting and so on was just social pressure. The fear of saying something like racist or discriminating against some minority you've never even heard of, and having them write into the podcast and have you shut down, wherever the fuck it is. Have your sponsors pulled. Vegan Stephen hats are €200 as of now. For the best price, DM. There's been a rumour that they're only €100 for the next 30 days, but now we'll talk about that. So listen, here's the thing. Irish people trying to they don't really know what's going on with this whole transgender crack. They're just trying to keep up with the politics of the world. The whole thing, like, oh, fuck off. Right, I'm just going to fucking tell you the thing and I'm going to move on, because I'm getting pissed off trying to be politically correct here. So politically correct, go suck my fucking knob, but I don't give a fuck about you, alright? Politically correct, get the fuck out. Politically correct, go take a jog around the block. We're just trying to have a fucking laugh here. This is the morning espresso here. Alright? All I'm saying is stuff that you guys joke about with your friends in your living rooms. And alright, here it fucking goes. Boom. My mum was allegedly at a restaurant which opened up. It wanted to be a hip new current restaurant, so it had a name like maybe 16, because it's really hip and trendy to have your shop just called the house number. So in Ireland, so it's called like 16 on the walk, or whatever the fuck it is. And you have a nice font that looks like a bank, so people can trust you, but you also have a signature that looks kind of trendy, and you have some weird stuff on the menu, such as saying like, here is sex, and you're sorry, what is in the sex? And you go, I will have 1 plate of happiness, please, and they bring you the plate of happiness, and you're like, oh, geez, sorry, there's some sausages in my happiness here. And they're just like, well, that's what happiness looks like. Okay. Focus, people. Focus. Okay. I'm just honestly very scared about what I'm about to say. So this is me pushing the line. We've only got 5 minutes left, so I better get fucking on with it as well. Okay, here we go, baby. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to do the disclaimer, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of here as quick as I can. Okay, here we go. So, someone will know, I was in a restaurant, it was open up the first time. There was a male bathroom. There was a male... Having the old technical laws here. Please hold for this brief intermission. So what this regular view of the podcast recommended was that I turned my script into a musical jingle, just so I wouldn't have to keep saying, this is the Vegan Stephen podcast every so often. It would just be done and it'd be in and out, which is an excellent idea, and I think he's completely right. The reason why I don't have it done like that just yet is because anytime I get stuck, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. I can just be like, it's the Vegan Stephen podcast. Just to keep things flowing, I just need something to just be like, oh, here's the thing. Okay, so listen. What am I going to say that's so controversial? We're going to find out. It is the 30th, 30 of the 11th, 2019. Okay. Vegan Stephen podcast is a parody of a podcast. Vegan Stephen is a fictional character. All guests are allegedly fictional characters. All characters and events in the show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. Celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language, and due to its content should not be viewed by anyone. Ooh, the smell of success in the morning. Presenter voice. Oh my lord. This is not the Angeles. This is the Vegan Stephen podcast. This is not a drill. This is live. This is not the Angeles. This is the Vegan Stephen podcast. The #1 vegan podcast promoting positive mental health is not just for vegans. It's every day, bro. I'm your host, Vegan Stephen. Whoa! Jeez, some random American lad was just in here doing the voiceover. I don't know what he was doing. So this is what happens when you try to do a podcast when you're hungover. It's going to be really... If this is my best episode ever, I'm going to have to be hungover for every single episode just to keep up this level of greatness. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. Alcohol is it's a slippery slope, man. So, I don't know. I don't know. There's no problem with alcohol. It's the people who drink it. I stand by that. So listen, here's my observation on Irish culture then. Hip new trendy business starting up. Fantastic, well done. Loads of people there. It's like a charity dinner or something. They're having the opening night and it's all for charity for good cause. Brilliant. People love it. Money, all the things. Profits go to charity. Everyone loves it. Fabulous. Now, listen. What's this new hot thing? Well, how can we get more socially aware and helping people out and all this shit, right? New event, transgenders, what's all that about? I don't know, but if we have a transgender bathroom, that would look good. Brilliant, let's do that. They're like, fuck, we've only got... Alright. Mom comes back from dinner. I know. The sooner I get on with this fucking story, the better. I know. I spent about 20 minutes telling a 10-second story, but I'm just terrified of the repercussions. It's probably fucking grand. My mom goes to a charity dinner. She goes to the bathroom. She realises that where there are 2 options, where there once were 3 options, there are now still 3 options. There is the male, the female, and the disabled bathroom. Now, a curious thing has happened. The disabled sign is missing, and someone has put transgender on the disabled toilet. So when I first heard this, I was crying laughing for about a week. I just broke my funny bone. I thought I'd never laugh again. So good luck, Instagram. You're saying goodbye there. Fair play to you. So what happened was my mum went to a thing. She went to a big event or whatever, and they had a transgender bathroom there just for transgenders. But it turned out that it actually wasn't a transgender bathroom. Initially, it was just a disabled bathroom. They just changed the sign. So I just thought that was an absolute stroke of comedy gold. Like, fuck the disabled. We have more current pressing issues like the transgenders. They have it well worse than anyone else in this world, because they're trending on Twitter right now. Fuck, I don't know. But I just thought it was absolutely brilliant, and I hope you'll see the funny side of it in some regard. I think a lot of people will laugh, but then say, "Oh no, that's wrong. What he said is wrong." But you still laughed, you fucking cunt. Alright? So if you laugh, I win. Tough shit. That's how it works. So listen, I really appreciate you guys. I'm just trying to get you guys pumped for the day. So it's the morning espresso, and you can do it. Alright, follow your dreams. 3, 2, 1, you're gone. See ya. Alright. So, yeah. I'm gonna end the podcast now any moment. Thanks very much for putting up with my I was scared as fuck there to even mention the word transgender, just because if anybody laughs in the same sentence as the word transgender, or whatever the current hot topic is that you're not supposed to make fun of, and how dare you make fun of some 16-year-old, she cares about the environment. Yeah, everyone's up for fucking slagging, right? I've been slagged my whole life for not being able to read, for being too short, for not being good at guitar, for being single, for getting beaten up, for everything. I've been slagged pretty much relentlessly my entire life, because I never stood up for myself. I never had the confidence to be like, I am fucking hot fucking product. Vegan Stephen, seal of approval. I didn't have the confidence to realise I was fucking hot shit, and that all this bullshit about talent doesn't exist. It's just hard work. If you want to be good at... I was playing a phenomenal drummer last night, and the reason why he's phenomenal is because I grew up with him, and I called him up all the time saying, "Oh, do you wanna do this? Do you wanna do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just gotta finish playing drums. I'll probably be ready in 3 hours or something." Like, this lad just played drums like 3 hours every fucking day when we were growing up. It's not a mistake. Like, he didn't fall out of the womb being really good at drums. He worked his fucking ass off. Tommy Tiernan said this in his interview as well. He said, like, it wasn't like an accident that I just fell out of the womb and was funny. Like, people don't just fall out and become funny. He worked at it relentlessly. Tommy Tiernan worked at his comedy relentlessly. Studied it in, day out. Studied the greats. So what I'm trying to say to you, if you're looking at your boss and you're there cleaning the floor or whatever it is, "Hey, we don't work for free." You're there looking at your boss, and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm smarter than him," and all the rest of it. Maybe you are, but that doesn't even matter. You all have the same. You can. It's so simple, and you guys just don't. You guys just don't understand. So listen, this is a podcast entirely fictional. You do whatever you want. I'm just trying to get you pumped up for the day. So I hope all is well with you. I'm gonna go now. I hope you enjoyed the Hangover podcast. Ma'am, what will we call this podcast? Alright, good luck. I gotta go. Should we look at the news? I don't know. We'll have a little look, and then we really gotta go. World news. Red Cross criticises UK for stripping ISIS recruits of citizenship. 7 hours ago in The Guardian. Supreme President guilty of murder over 1982 executions. Alright. Oh my god. Lads, I don't think I can read. Alright, my eyes are very sore. I literally was on the pints all night. So, here we go. Leonardo DiCaprio falsely accused of financing Amazon fires. Oh, that is hilarious. That is so funny. because Leonardo DiCaprio is that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Leonardo DiCaprio is like a hardcore environmentalist. He's so big into like the environment, so someone was obviously making up a joke. Oh, I'd say he did it, which would be the furthest thing from the truth. That's hilarious. And it's like, you can, I don't know who this Greta woman is, but people like Leonardo DiCaprio have been going on about it for years. It doesn't, I think people are, you're using your small, when you get caught up in things like who is saying this, whether it's Leonardo DiCaprio or some 16-year-old who I can't even pronounce her name, is talking about stuff. People get very distracted on who's saying it. Do you know what I mean? Like, people say, oh, you're only 16, what do you know? You talk like a, I can't say that out loud. Or, yeah. Alright, just listen. We're only doing the news for like a quick 4 seconds, then we're going, because the clock is ticking here. The clock is ticking. And the time is 2:33. The date is the 30th of the thing. No indication of terrorism. A huge stabbing victim. All mirrors. Suspect still at large. Motive unclear. Listen, Russia Today. I was at a party last night, so I can account for my actions. So, if you could just write me off the suspect list, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. US invoice spews. Well, I cannot read with good glasses on. Flip me. Alright, lots of people talking about sex. I'm gonna keep moving. Mental health news, acting cool. Broken systems failing those with mental health issues. Irish Times, 28th. That's 2 days ago. I haven't really met many people who got what they wanted from the mental health system. But then again, I feel like people are, like, you can learn all this stuff from a book, kind of. I don't know. There's a lot to it. Like, you can spend the rest of your life becoming an expert on it, but what good is it to you if you never apply it? Like, are you learning all this stuff because you want to teach it, or really just learn what applies to you? Or do whatever you want. Okay, we're finishing up this podcast any second. This is the journal. We have a live blog. The boxes are open as by election hopefuls pour over early tallies. Alright, so there's some kind of election somewhere going on. It looks like it's count time somewhere. It doesn't say where the election's on. Oh, okay, hang on. There was an election in Dublin, Midwest. Dublin, Fine Gael, Cork. Okay, so there's some election going on there, and they're having a vote. And then finally, I checked in with myself every day. Whatever the fuck that means. There's a picture of some woman. She's looking well. I think she's one of those women, you know, that could maybe pull off the old shaved head look. I can't pull off the shaved head look, but maybe she could. Who knows? She's got lovely cheekbones, you know. Alright. Do you want to hear something really stupid? I was coming home in the taxi last night, drunk off my head, and Kevin says to me, "Is this yours?" And he just hands me a lipstick, and I go, "Yeah, that's mine." And I just put it in my pocket. I didn't even know what it was. I was just so hammered. And I got in an argument with his girlfriend about lighting. Oh my god. We were arguing about light bulbs. This is what happens when you drink. I started arguing with this fucking rock star's girlfriend over a light bulb wattage. We were arguing. She was like, "Here, we can only use 10 watt bulbs for this lighting or whatever." And I was like, no, that's not how it works. You need like 100 watt, because it has to go through a diffuser, which is like a sheet of paper, because otherwise it'll just be like a torch. If you don't have any diffusion, the light will just come at you just like a laser beam, alright? But if you shine a light through paper, it diffuses the light and makes it look more natural, and so on. I was also talking to a photographer last night. I can't remember her fucking name, but she's big on Instagram anyway. Aren't they all fucking big on Instagram? She was running the studio or whatever, and she just got on about how crazy it is, Instagram, and how like Instagram is not like a toy or something. It's one of those powerful tools that you have under your fingertips right now if you are a creator. If you are merely a consumer, Instagram will fuck your head up, because you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. But if you're a creator, you can use that manipulation system and instant information mechanism of image, because was a painting or an image tells 1,000 words and all that. And we also talked about lens distortion, which is how I'm into. I don't know. I think I like a 50mm lens, and we were talking between 50mm lens and a 30mm lens. Right now, I'm using a 28mm zoom lens through a wide angle lens, which have been sellotaped together because I don't have enough money to buy. Like, I'm literally doing this in my shed, so with no budget, just time and inspiring you guys to. They can just start working yourself from your own gaff and have money coming in. We've got the business course there. If you want to learn how to make money, you can literally just copy what I'm doing. As I always say, you can just call yourself like Meat Eating Sally or something, and then just literally copy me everything I do, and people love you because you're like. It's how tribes work. They go against, like, good versus evil and all this shite. Alright, oh Jesus. Alright, I think tonight's going to be called drinking, will it? Today's episode will be called Hangover. Alright, we'll just look up what a hangover is for the crack. Oh Jesus, and then we'll end it up. We're finishing. Alright, here we go. Oh Jesus. Oh, why did I take off my glasses? I'm dying. Good looking. Man. Oh, man. I had such a great night last night. Got to hang out with like some unreal mates and then some unreal people. Okay, here we go. A hangover is the experience of various unpleasant psychological and physiological effects following the consumption of alcohol such as wine, beer, distilled spirits. Hangovers can often last for several hours or more than 24 hours. Oh my word. What's the best cure for a hangover? Hair of the dog. So you got to take one hair off a dog, apparently. That's the cure. Drink fluids. Get some carbohydrates into your system. Avoid darker coloured alcoholic beverages. Right. Is that discrimination? Take a pain reliever, but not Tyreterol, whatever the fuck that is. Drink coffee or tea. Vitamin 6. Vitamin 5 will increase your hangover. However, vitamin 6 is the perfect number of B6. So that's everything. Is it good? If you any more questions, just watch the film The Hangover. Maybe that'll answer all your questions if you don't know what a hangover is. So, is alcohol good fun? Yeah, it's a bit of crack. I like it. That's the end. That's all I have to say. Is alcohol good fun? Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's good. I almost never drink, just because you almost lose a day after the next day. But I think if it's a big celebration, it's important. I think it's important. It's like it really unites people in a very strange way. It's a very strange drug. I think my favourite drug is coffee. And then it's another drug, which I can't name. That might be smoked. And then... yeah, right. Drugs are bad, kids. But if you are going to do... no, wait, hang on, what's the saying? Don't do drugs. So there'll be more for vegan Stephen. This podcast is strictly over 50. You have to be over 50 years old if you want to hear this podcast. Okay, listen, I'm out of here. Goodbye. I'm sick of looking at